What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today, and I'm coming at you with a short little video about a topic that I want to address. It's just about the Souls series in general, mostly Dark Souls, but it has to kind of pertain to Dark Souls 2 as well about this whole issue. Now, as you can see on the screen right now, I'm playing some Dark Souls on a new character. I just recently bought the PC version. It was about $7. It was on sale. I thought, why not? I did a bunch of things to get it working, getting my PS3 controller to work on the computer, and getting the DS Fix mod and things like that, tweaking the settings so that it can run on my computer very well. And I'm still messing around with those, but that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about, you're here to hear me talk about the subject. So let's get into it. Today I want to talk about a little bit about hacking in Dark Souls. Hacking and malicious modding. I'm going to call it malicious modding as well. You know, there are some mods, there's great mods like this DS Fix. Makes the game look amazing. There's also texture pack mods like the HD texture pack mod that makes the game look fresh and new. Now, it doesn't make the game look amazing like compared to this. Like the HD texture pack, it looks good. It makes the game look like fresh and new for people who've played the game a lot. And honestly speaking, I don't have that installed. But things like that, they don't really affect anybody's gameplay but yours. And the same goes for single player cheating. I honestly think the point of Dark Souls is to have a challenge and have fun having a challenge, be patient, and learn from your mistakes. But some people just need a little bit of a boost. Maybe they get a trainer and they train their stats a little bit so that they can be a little bit more overpowered than, a little bit more powerful for the boss that they're fighting. I honestly don't see a point in that. I mean, I don't see a point in it, but I can see where they're coming from. Maybe they're having a lot of trouble on the boss or what have you. I don't have a problem with it. It's their game, they bought it with money, and they're not affecting anybody else's experience. Now, the problem comes when you hack online. Now, I was recommended a video on YouTube, like in the recommended section, because YouTube likes to recommend you the weirdest videos. But I was watching a bunch of mod videos on how to mod Dark Souls on the PC because I had no idea how to. And the one popped up and it was like cheating in Dark Souls, and I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. I checked to see, just how it was going. And apparently you just download this thing, and it is a trainer that trains all your stats, and you can get stacks of 99 and infinite souls and everything else. So I was like kind of skeptical at first, but this guy was a legitimate guy. He made tons of videos on his channel, and I thought, well, why not? I want to see how this thing works. So I went on the PC version, I made a new character, and I was like, well, let's test it out. So I went onto the character, and instantly I was getting I could get tons of levels, any levels that I wanted to. I could get not all the equipment that I wanted to, but I could essentially get all the equipment I wanted to, because you can get 99 stacks or infinite stacks of Titanite to upgrade your weapons to make them very good. There was infinite health, infinite stamina, but all this at a press of a button, to just toggle this on and off. Press 1, you've got infinite health. Press 2, you've got infinite stamina. All these things. And I was testing them out, and they all worked. And it was kind of funny to me, in a way. I say it's funny, but it's really not. It's kind of funny because how easy it was to do that, and just how effortless, the whole process was. Press, download a software, boot it up with Dark Souls, and press a button. Whoop-de-doo, there you go. You can hack. Now, I didn't even try to do this online because it was a new character, and I probably couldn't go online anyway. But basically what I'm saying here is that I think the same thing would apply online. And the guy in the video even said, please don't use this online. And that's the thing, putting these softwares, or whatever, programs out there that can just destroy people's online experiences. Now, if you download a trainer and you do it offline, it doesn't affect me. I could care less. It's your game. You can do what you want with it, But when you take it online, you have just started to affect everybody else's gameplay, and I'm sure that most people don't want you to hack. Now, the thing with this is that a lot of times, it's hard to see if they're hacking in a way. Now, okay, here's where I'm going to draw the line. if you're hacking to get to a certain level, to get your equipment, and then you want to go PvP, I can understand where you're coming from. I've beaten Dark Souls 8 or 9 times. I understand that when you make a new build, you probably don't want to go through the process of going through the whole game, farming for Titanite, farming for humanity, all this other stuff, and you just don't want to do it. It's easier just to download a trainer, train your stats to what you want it to be, and then go PvP with that build. And if you enjoy it, maybe some other time you'll actually make it yourself. And that's how I kind of use on the PS3 when I used to mule characters, or sometimes I still do it. I'll get a mule character, and then I'll just try out the build. If I enjoyed the build, then I'll go and make my own build myself. I don't have tons of time to just sit around and spend hours upon hours on one build and then end up saying that, oh, well, this build isn't even that good. I don't even want to use it. And that's the thing. You know, if you're just using it for that, and you're just using it for legitimate PvP, and you're not using it to get infinite health or a ridiculous amount of health, you know, if you're just leveling yourself to 120, making a regular build, you know, that is what I'm talking about. Now, over-leveling still doesn't make that much of a difference. Like, for instance, say that somebody has, you know, 99 vitality. Even if they have 99 vitality, it doesn't matter that much. You know, some people would say, well, they do have an advantage. Yes, they do have an advantage. They do have more health than you, which leads to the advantages that they have. But in Dark Souls, things hit so high, regardless of your armor and things. A lot of times, I mean, I'm not saying that armor doesn't do anything, because it does. But even if you got tons of poise and armor, you know, some weapons just destroy that and go straight through it. So what I'm saying here is that it's not always about it, you know, basically having the best equipment that you can get and also the best stats you can get. But it's not all about, is what I'm trying to get to, having the most HP. You know, having 500 more health than another person, it gives you the advantage, but one backstab can do like 1,000 damage, and that would just even the odds completely on the whole match. So things like that would not really bother me. But over-leveling kind of does, but it doesn't affect me as much as what I'm going to get into now. Modifying. Modifying things like having 99999 health, which means you don't have infinite health, but you might as well have infinite health. I mean, somebody with that much health can just run at you and R1 spam with a falchion. And if they're doing that, they probably have like tons of stamina too. So they probably just have like a, you know, a falchion with great magic weapon, and they just, you know, go to town with an R1 two-hand. You know what I mean? That's all they're gonna do. And that's the problem, you know? People doing that kind of stuff. Also, infinite health. Now, of all the times I've played on the PS3, I haven't played online on the PC yet, but, yeah, it's definitely going to be some hackers on the PC. But on the PS3, I've only seen one hacker. And that's all. He was, like, dressed as, like, a dragon, and he was, I don't even know what he was doing. I actually kicked him off the ledge, but that's besides the point. Anyhow, I don't see that many hackers on PS3 because on PC it's so much more accessible, and if it's really that easy to hack online, that's the problem. Now, what am I trying to get at here? You know, well, do I want them to fix it? Do I want From Software to go around and fix this problem? No. That is my short answer, and if you want the long answer, yes. Now, I don't want From Software to come back to Dark Souls and just spend their time on Dark Souls, because right now they're working on Dark Souls 2. And I want them to make Dark Souls 2 as good as they can. I want it to be a really enjoyable game. I've been waiting for the game for a while, and I'm really excited to play it. Now, the thing about Dark Souls 2 is that I really don't care about Dark Souls Online mode as much as I care about what's going to happen in Dark Souls 2. If, for instance, you know, Dark Souls just stays as is, you can still have some good PvP fights, and sometimes you'll just get a hacker and you have to deal with it. You go back and get your souls afterward. It's not that big of a deal. But if it happens in Dark Souls 2 as well, you know, as rampant as it is in Dark Souls. Granted, there's always going to be hackers, but I'm talking about as rampant as it is in Dark Souls. You know, it's just problems with the coding and things that people can just completely manipulate it to their own bidding. But that's the thing, you know. I hope that they learn from their mistakes that they made in Dark Souls, and in Dark Souls 2, they look back on everything that they did wrong with Dark Souls 1, and fix all the problems in Dark Souls 2, so that we can have a hack-free environment online, or at least mostly hack-free, with the exception of some people. Honestly, I don't see a benefit of cheating as far as online, like infinite health. I can see the benefit in just like mule, almost like a mule character. I've even done things like that to just, make a character really quick, and then you can just go PvP legitimately. I don't have a problem with that. It's just the people that literally abuse it so that they cannot lose in any way, shape, or form, unless they get killed by falling damage. Because falling damage surprisingly does kill you no matter what. I don't know if this counts as like jumping off a long ledge and then landing somewhere you can actually land. Not sure, I have to test that, but as far as like a hacker, if you do run into a hacker online, if you do run into one, the only problem, or the only thing that you can do is kick them off a ledge, or backstab them off a cliff, or something of that nature. Dragging Great Bow, things that come in mind. But that is besides the point. Anyway, I want to close off this video by saying that if you're one of those people who enjoy hacking, for whatever reason, please just maybe keep it in Dark Souls. Don't try to bring it over to Dark Souls 2, and hopefully From Software will be on that in Dark Souls 2 so that we don't have to deal with it. And I really hope that Dark Souls 2 will be a good game without all this hacking and things like that. And with that, guys, you can leave the opinions that you guys have in the comments down below. But I will see you guys next time.